Good morning. Welcome to my thought for the day. I've been thinking about peace this morning. There's lots in the Bible about peace, isn't there? Probably if I say the word peace to you, you would think of the angels coming at the birth of Jesus. Peace, goodwill to all men. The Lord Jesus saying, "My peace I leave with you, not as the world gives, do I give to you." But I was thinking of the verse in Romans 12:18, which says, "If possible, as far as it depends upon you, live peaceably with all," or at peace with all. In so many ways, our Christian life is about passing on to others what God has given to us. We pass on to others the love that God has shed in our hearts. We pass on to others the generosity that God has shown to us. We pass on to others the joy that has been shed abroad in our hearts. And we surprise people that we can be joyful when things are difficult. But also the gift of peace. Jesus gave us peace. Jesus came to bring peace. Peace in lots of ways. Peace between us and God. Do you know there's no longer any war between you and I and God? There is nothing between us. The difficulty of sin, the barrier of sin, the gulf of sin, however you like to see it. We were separated from God by our sin and our sinfulness. But Jesus has bridged that gap. Jesus has broken down the wall of separation. And we are at peace with God. God is not angry with us. God is not turning his face away in disgust from us. No, his love has found a way to overcome the barrier that held us away from his presence. Now we can go boldly into his presence. We don't have to be like Esther, the queen, hoping that the king will extend his scepter towards her so that she could approach without losing her life. When she hadn't been called to the king, it's in the story of Esther. If you've never read it, that's how things were in those olden days. You could not approach the king unless he asked for you, without danger of losing your life. But God is not holding us at bay, holding us at a distance. He welcomes us because the veil has been torn. In the temple there was a veil. There was a huge curtain, massive curtain. You couldn't reach the top of it. And it was torn in two when Jesus died, because he tore away the barrier that separates us from God. And there was peace made. And Jesus himself said, "Blessed are the peacemakers, for they shall..." Let me just turn to it. It's in Matthew chapter 5, the beginning of the Sermon on the Mount. "Blessed are the peacemakers, for they shall be called the sons of God." We are sons and daughters of God if we make peace with each other. Blessed are the peacemakers, for they shall be called children of God, sons of God. The Lord has given us peace. Peace, and we should promote peace wherever we go. We should not promote angst or antagonism or hatred. It's this phrase is in the middle of a lovely little passage which, if you have time today, do read it, because it talks about people with whom it's very difficult to be at peace. Verse 14 of Romans 12. "Blessed are those who persecute. Bless those who persecute you. Bless and do not curse them. Rejoice with those who rejoice. Weep with those who weep. Live in harmony with one another. Do not be haughty, but associate with the lowly. Never be conceited. Repay no one evil for evil, but take thought for what is noble in the sight of all. If possible, as far as it depends upon you, live peaceably with all." So we are not to fight our corner, insist on our own way. You know, we can be anxiety maker. We can be strife makers. You know, we can pick a quarrel very easily. I know I'm quite good at that, really. And often, if you go 2 or 3 days later, you can't even remember where the quarrel started. You know, because at the core, there's something about us that's very unspiritual. You know, we get irritated, perhaps with our husband or wife or with our children. We get irritated, and before we know where we are, we're not talking. We're standing off from somebody. Somebody's upset us with something they said or did. It's so easy to get upset, because at the core we are very self-centered creatures. And when you analyze the arguments that we have, what's at the root of them? It's a personal offense. It's something that's been said or done that upsets us. Perhaps the wrong tone of voice, perhaps the wrong choice of words. Whatever it is, perhaps it's something that hooks into what we experienced when we were younger. I don't know. And suddenly we're like a hedgehog with our spikes up, and we're prickly about everything. So, this is what Paul says. If possible, as far as it depends upon you, live peacefully, peaceably with all. We can't change the other person's attitude or behaviour, but we can change ours. As far as it lies within you, promote peace in your homes, in your relationships. If you've got a situation of enmity with anybody, sort it out. Pray about it. Ask the Lord for an end to the conflict, and spread to others the peace that Jesus has given to you. Don't keep it to yourself. Share it with others. Have a great day. See you tomorrow. Bye-bye.